Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union 2020 COVID-19 Money Webinar Series. My name is Charmaine Buckner, and I'll be your moderator. Today's presentation, Understanding Home Buying and the New Norms, is brought to you in partnership with CUMA, Credit Union Mortgage Association, which is a full-service mortgage entity of the credit union that offers our members a range of mortgage solutions at competitive rates. As the premier credit union of Prince George's County, we have joined with CUMA to expand the mission of providing quality financial education to our community and lending insight into home ownership. Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union is a full-service financial institution serving anyone who lives, works, worships in Prince George's County, Maryland. We are one of the county's best-kept secrets with competitive loan and savings rates, as well as discounts to national retailers. We currently serve over 17,000 members in the area and welcome you to come and experience the benefits of membership as well. Now, later on in this presentation, we will display our contact information and answer any specific questions you may have concerning your financial needs. It's not too late to invite your friends and colleagues to join today's webinar. You should have received an email about 30 minutes ago, and in that email, there's a link that you could pass along to them to register and join today's call. Please know that today's webinar is live and all phone lines have been muted. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it into the question box on the right-hand side of your menu bar. Lastly, a recording of today's session will be available later on today, and details are going to be sent to your email following the presentation. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our presenter for today, Sean Connell. Good morning, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Charmaine. My name is Sean Connell. I'm with Credit Union Mortgage Association. We are a national mortgage lending solution for credit unions. We only work with credit unions and credit union members. We are able to assist you nationally. So if you are looking to buy a property in California, New York, wherever you're looking, we're able to assist you with that lending need. And we're going to go over the steps in the mortgage home buying process, give you some insight, hopefully address a lot of your questions, along with a little bit of the state of the market and how you, in today's world, as we deal with the COVID, you have 3 or 4 different opportunities to do that contactless on the websites, by phone. There's a lot of different ways, but we're going to address all of those today. Charmaine, if you would go ahead and take it to the next slide, why it's a great time to buy, and go ahead and fill in all the drop pieces so we can get started on that. Ladies and gentlemen, right now could not be a better time to buy and get a mortgage loan through your credit union. If you have ever said, I'm waiting for the interest rates to get as low as they possibly can, well, right now is the time. The rates are not, they're the lowest they've been in 50 years. So if you are looking to buy and you're looking for the lowest interest rate possible, we are in that market right now. We are extremely busy assisting people that are looking to buy a home or even refinance their home. They may have a home that they'd like to refinance and save on their monthly payments. But right now could not be a better time to go out to buy because the rates are low, which increases your home buying power. Now, there's a lot of reasons you want to go through the credit union. You want to go through the credit union because they have your financial wherewithal at hand. I mean, they are looking out for you. Unlike other institutions are looking to profitize from you, brokers who are looking to try to make some money on you and maybe put you in the wrong lending program. But right now, and we also offer as a credit union, lower than industry closing costs. So, you know, put together the lowest interest rate, lower closing costs. We have a full menu of programs and products to meet your needs. We have, and we're able to lend nationally. You really are getting a tremendous benefit from your credit union. And as I mentioned here, the rates have not been this low since 1971. Unfortunately, I was around in 71 and a few years before that. But this is the lowest interest rate environment that we will probably see for a long, long time. We have programs, and we have all of the programs available to you. We have first-time homebuyer programs with as little as 3.5% down, and that can be gifted from a family member if you do not have that. We have jumbo loans, which are large loan amounts. We have first-time homebuyer. We have USDA loans for folks that might have some limited income if they qualify. We have VA loans where there's no money down if you're VA eligible. We have reverse mortgages. So we have a number of all of the programs that are available to anyone across the nation that's qualified. You have availability to those. And every single member may have a different need. I'm probably 5 to 7 years from retirement, so I don't necessarily am looking to refinance into something long-term. I'm probably looking to buy that second home, which will probably be my retirement home. But this is the time to do it. Another wonderful advantage with the credit union is that you have available to you what's called the Home Advantage C Realty Program. So if you go through your credit union, you get the lowest interest rate, the lowest closing costs, and then if you join the program, your mortgage loan officer can assist you with this information and get you registered. But if you use an agent through this particular program, and it's free to you, absolutely free to get registered, use one of their agents, you get a cash rebate. So you can buy a home, get a loan, and get a cash rebate from your credit union. And how this program works is you work with the agent once you're pre-qualified, you find a property, you can take that cash rebate and use it to help pay closing costs if you need it, or you could buy your interest rate down if you can or need it. What my wife and I did, we had the lowest interest rate at the time, and then we also had, at the time, the seller was paying all of our closing costs. And unfortunately, we're not in that environment now. We bought during what's called a buyer's market where we had a little bit more leverage. But right now it's a seller's market. So, they're not going to pay any seller costs or anything like that for you. But after closing, my wife and I got a very handsome check back from the agent. It's free money, and that went into window treatments and different things that we needed around the house. But what a wonderful full-service program that you have through the credit union. Charmaine, if you go ahead and like to change that slide over. We have a number of ways that we can help contactless. I know that that's a very big thing nowadays as we deal with the COVID. But it's really kind of generational. First and foremost, you have access through the credit union's website to the online mortgage center 24 hours a day. So you can go online, you can run different scenarios, and when you're ready to apply, you can actually apply online through the credit union. You go through the entire stages, you can actually get pre-qualified 24 hours a day through the website. And I call that kind of my son's generation. Very high tech. He's 28, 29 years old, and he's going to do it on a laptop or a cell phone or a computer. But that's not my generation. I'm the generation who's going to want to pick up the phone and speak directly to a mortgage loan officer. And our loan officers can take your mortgage application over the phone. So the next piece is that members, you can call directly to the mortgage department at the phone numbers listed, the 855 number and the 571 number. It's going to be answered as PG County Federal Credit Union First Mortgage Department. How can we help you? And they're going to be able to assist you with any and all questions and give you potential options of different loan programs that may meet your needs on that. They can also, you can sign up if you would like, online through the website on the Home Rebates page through the Mortgage Web Center and the Mortgage Online Center website. And you can actually register online, and you can shop from homes online. You can begin your home shopping if you wanted to see what that house down the street is. I don't know if everybody's familiar with a Zillow or any of those types of things, but the Home Advantage program is your PG County Federal Credit Union, real estate website. You can shop for loans. You can shop for homes and properties and look at different properties and different, values. You can look for so many bedrooms, so many baths. You can look at school systems. It's really a wonderful online piece when you start looking for locations and properties, along with at the end when you get your cash rebate. But the Home Advantage program is a wonderful tool that you can start some shopping online before you actually go out and look at properties. I will tell you to never buy a property until you've seen it. Some of the pictures you'll see online might not be the same as when you see it in person. So, when you do go out with your agent, with your mask and your gloves, it's definitely worth it right now to social distance, however, look at properties to buy right now and see what they've got. And again, we have, you can visit the credit union. They have a referral system that they can make a direct referral to us. This is my dad's generation. He's not picking up the phone. He's not going online. He's going to walk into the credit union. And anybody in the credit union can make a direct referral via the referral tool to the mortgage department so we can assist and meet your needs on that. So you can do a lot of the initial, we even can do closings, at your place, in the area. We can have our closers come out and meet you at different locations. They're very accommodating. So we can certainly make this as easy a process as possible. Next slide, Charmaine, please. And let's go through the difference between pre-qualification and full loan approval. The first being pre-qualification. Pre-qual is just a real quick calculation to make sure you qualify, but it's not a firm commitment. It's not a firm commitment whatsoever. If and when you are ready to buy a home, the first thing that you all want to do is get pre-approved. And this is a complete look and verification. So what we do is we start with your application. The next thing we do is get your income documentation, your assets, your 401ks, your credit, your debts. We do a complete picture, and then we give you a pre-approval letter that says you are pre-approved for a certain amount of money. And that's the house that, technically you can afford. Now, just because we pre-approve you for $500,000 doesn't mean that you need to or want to go out and buy a $500,000 house. My wife and I'll give you a personal insight. I've been doing this 34 years, and my wife's an athletic director and a teacher. And after, we bought our house up here in the Northern Virginia area. My son was in college. And my wife's school closed, so we lost her income. Luckily, we did not qualify on the entire income, and we bought a house that we knew that should somebody lose their position, we could still afford to put our son through school. We could still afford the car payments. We could still afford to buy our house. So when you get a pre-approval from your loan officer, those are good for 90 days, I apologize. Pre-approvals are good for 90 days. And then if you need to re-up that approval, just work with your individual loan officer. When you do want to make a bid on a property, and let's say you're pre-approved for $500,000, but you want to offer $350,000, work with your loan officer and get a pre-approval letter for $350,000 when you make your offer. Last thing you want to do is tell the seller that you can qualify for a lot more because they'll come back with a higher loan price and then the negotiations on that. So once you're pre-approved, that's when you're ready to go. You can start using the home buying pieces. You can work with your agent to find properties and review the properties. One of the things that I will tell you as a suggestion, definitely work with a registered and a home buying realty agent. Before you buy a house, always do a contingent based on a home cert. Let somebody, a home inspector, go through the property to make sure that you don't need a new roof, you don't need a new heating and air conditioning system. So you know beforehand that you're going into a property. Your agent can assist you with what's called a home warranty program. My wife and I bought a home that was built in the 1950s, and we got a home warranty part of that as an insurance. And needless to say, after about a year when we were in, the hot water heater went out, the washer and dryer went out, and we had some coverage with the home warranty. So you don't have some very big expenses right after you've bought a home. So this is the time you shop. You start looking. You start looking for properties, and you find a property that you're like. That's when the negotiations start. And then we talk about full approval. That's when we have a contract and there's a very specific loan amount, a property purchase price that's been agreed on. The seller has accepted your offer, and you're ready to do an appraisal and start working through any of the what we call the processing of that loan to get your loan to closing. We may need to update some documentation to get you ready through that process. Next slide, please. Why get pre-approved? And we're going to click right through those. The first and foremost is when you get pre-approved, you've already basically gone through and you're able to tell your realtor and the seller that you are approved for a mortgage. Once you do get pre-approved, please don't go out and make any large purchases. We see a lot of people that get pre-approved and then go buy a brand new car and have a $1,000 car payment, which does not qualify them for a mortgage loan. But that's when you start, most realtors nowadays will not show you houses unless you're approved and pre-approved, ready to go. Sellers will not review a contract or take an offer or take a contract because they don't want to miss a closing. Or a possible sale. They don't want to find out 6 weeks after they've accepted an application or your contract that your loan's not going to close and have to put the property back on the market. And again, it just shows that everybody is fully involved and fully approved in the loan process, and that we're not going to miss any settlements, closings because of financial issues on that. Next slide, please. What is needed for a pre-approval? And we'll go ahead and click through those items. When you're ready to get pre-approved, again, you can either apply online. If you're tech savvy, you can go right there and complete your own application online. A mortgage loan officer will then call you once the loan is in the system and assist you with all of your needs. You may apply for a 30-year fixed rate loan, and then during the process and after speaking to a loan officer, you want to change to a different mortgage loan program. That's fine. We're able to assist you. So once we complete that complete loan application, we're going to send out, and you've been pre-approved, you've got the ratified contract back to your loan officer. This is where the fun part starts. But to get pre-approved, you want to complete the app. You want to give all of the disclosures that we're going to give you. We're going to get current pay stubs from everybody that's on the loan, last year's W-2s. If you're self-employed or commissioned based like a realtor, we're going to ask for at least 2 years of tax returns, self-employed or commissioned, a bonus. Any recent accounts, so your share account, your draft account, mutual funds, 401ks, stocks, IRAs, anything like that that would help with the asset piece. We're going to pull a tri-merge credit file and then any additional documentation that we need. So one of the things that I want to make sure everybody is aware of is that there have been some significant changes in how mortgages are done because of folks being taken advantage of in the past with the subprime lending. Your credit union never got involved with that. But all of the ramifications, everything now is much more detailed. So when we ask for documentation, we need to have every page of the document. There's going to be credit reports now. It used to be the middle score of the they pull 3 credit reports or a tri-merge credit file on each person from the 3 entities. It used to be the middle score of the highest income earner, which was called the main borrower, the primary borrower. So if my wife and I applied and I had I made more money than she did and I had a 780 and she had a 680 as the second borrower, the loan was qualified on my 780 credit score. Well, there's been some changes in the market, and if nowadays, if my wife has to be on the loan for income purposes to qualify, the industry and the government and the whole lending guidelines and parameters, it's going to be the middle score of the lesser borrower. So that middle score of my wife at 680, that's what would price the loan, and that would based on the qualifications going forward. Sometimes if people can qualify on their own, they leave the spouse off of the loan. But our loan officers are able to work with you to make sure that we can assist you based on your needs on that. Again, next slide, please. Now you're pre-approved, so let's go ahead through those buttons and pieces. All right, so you've been pre-approved. We've got your app, we've got your documents, you've got a pre-approval letter from your loan officer, you've registered, you've got a C Realty agent or an agent. You're ready to go out and really start shopping. You've narrowed down some properties. That pre-approval, again, is good for 90 days. It can be updated after that. So when you get into day 85, if you'd like to keep shopping, you haven't found the property, go ahead and contact your loan officer. Let them know that you want to extend your pre-approval. They'll get you a brand new pre-approval letter accordingly. Do not add any additional debt after this time. Wait till you close before you do anything. And again, this is where you're going to work with your agent to start shopping potential homes. You can do a lot online, but again, you really want to put feet to ground and to see these properties up close and personal. The agent will also help you walk through on those items as well. Next slide, please. All right, this is where the fun part begins. You found the house that you want to buy. So this is the time that your agent sits down with the seller's agent and you make an offer. You're going to, the seller can either accept your offer or they can make changes or a counter offer, on a home. So you offer that the sales price was, $350,000 and you offered, $340,000, they might come back and say, we'll sell it to you for $345,000. Or you might be competing against someone else. Somebody else wants that house and they're going to offer $355,000. They're going to offer, $5,000 more than what the offer is. Sometimes that's very frustrating, but there also comes a point where, if it gets out of hand, that you can vote with your feet and find another property on that. If it is more than the offer amount, you're going to have to come up with that as a down payment on the loan, or we can restructure to see what we can get done to get you to qualify for that. But that's why you have an agent. You tell the agent what to go in. The agent's going to tell you about the market. Again, right now is a seller's market. There is a lot of pinned-up purchase demand. People are refinancing left and right. And people that are actually looking to buy, we're starting to see the purchase market go up as the COVID and the everybody's getting out and about a little bit more. It's in a safe manner. They're working with their agents to look at properties. This is really a wonderful opportunity to do that if you're comfortable and do it in a safe manner, because there's a lot of people that want to buy that are not out there looking and looking at potential programs and properties on that. So you're going to go back and forth. There might be some negotiation and, you know, asking for seller-paid closing costs. Well, in today's market, you're probably not going to see a lot of sellers accept any kind of closing costs assistance or anything like that, because properties are in very high demand because of the low interest rates. Other things that your agent's going to help you with that offer is you want to make sure when you make that offer that certain things convey. And what I mean by that is that when you walk in and see that brand new refrigerator, stove, and dishwasher, washer, dryer, when you buy the house, if you don't specifically put into the contract that all the appliances convey, you buy a house, walk in, and then you have to buy a brand new washer, dryer, refrigerator, stove, microwave, different things like that. So again, that's where your agent is going to assist you to make sure that everything conveys with the sale and the acceptance of your offer. Once the seller approves and signs it, once you approve and sign it, this is really where all the fun starts, because now we're on the clock. And we need your help to make this a very efficient manner. Next slide, please. What happens next? So let's go through those items real quick. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to order an appraisal. This is a third party who's going to go out and say the offer on the property is this. Is that property worth what it is? Appraisals are basically comparable properties in the neighborhood that have sold. So what are those properties that are similar bedroom size, bathroom sizes, square footage in the neighborhood, what did they sell for? We're going to update all of the disclosure documents and documentation that we got from your pre-approval. So we're going to get brand new pay stubs, brand new asset statements, brand new disclosures. Everything that we're going to need to get current and get current documentation so we can put your file through processing and get it to an underwriter to get that final approval. You're going to pick a settlement or a title company. This is chosen by you. You can have one referred by your realtor. Your loan officer can assist. If you're in Maryland and PG, the title company up there, CU Title, is a credit union owned agent that can come out and close it at your house or meet you at a restaurant. You don't have to go to the attorney's office like in the past. So your loan officer can assist you if you don't have any, or you can use CU Title, which is a credit union owned entity which keeps the closing costs down for you as well. They do a very, very good job. Now, when you get pre-approved, you're being pre-approved based on the interest rates. So, you cannot lock that interest rate in your points or your program until you actually have a ratified contract. So, once you get in and you've found the property and it's been accepted, the next thing you want to do is you want to work with your loan officer and lock the interest rate and lock the points. That's going to protect your interest rate. And again, these are the lowest interest rates in 50 years. If the interest rates happen to go up, it might be the lowest interest rate in 49 years, but it's still a very, very, very good interest rate. So work with your loan officer at that point to update any of that information and get your loan locked so you can protect that interest rate. One of the first homes that I bought years ago, I bought, and you have to understand that interest rates in the early 80s, mid 80s, went up to about 18%. Car loans were 24%. It was terrible. So, you know, my first house I bought, and then what I did is I refinanced. The interest rates came down. I thought I was getting a great rate at 8. I locked in, and the next day they went down. But what I'm going to tell you about that is to lock it, stop looking at interest rates, and work on getting your loan closed so you don't lose your good faith estimate money that you've given up to the seller. I've also locked interest rates, and they went way up the next day, and I was a hero. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in this business 34 years, and I'm in the middle of a refinance right now because the rates are as low as they've ever been through my credit union. And I'm also looking to buy my retirement home because the interest rates are so low. So if you've ever thought about buying a home, you cannot find a lower interest rate time to do it than now. Next slide, please. So we've got all of your documentation together. We've got the ratified contract. We've updated your documents. We've got the appraisal. We're going to do a title search. Make sure there's no old liens or anything against the property. So when you do buy that property, it's a clear titled property on that. Your processor gives the file to the underwriter. And the underwriter does a absolute one final review to make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, that you meet the Fannie Freddie guidelines on the loan parameters that were provided, to make sure that those are all met, that you're qualified, and we move forward on that. Next slide, it should be settlement and closing. What you want to do through its settlement, once everything's done and we've got a clear to close on your loan, we will work, our closing department will work with you, with your settlement agent, and schedule a date and time for them either to come out, or if you're more comfortable, you could go to them and close your mortgage loan. What you want to do is whoever is on the loan, you want to bring current updated driver's licenses or passports or something like that. We want to make sure, your agents are going to make sure that you are who you say you are when you're closing this very, very large loan. Money for closing beforehand could be certified check payable to the settlement attorney, but most everything now is wired. So from your institution, if you need to wire the 3.5% in closing costs, you can work with your credit union to have that information wired over to the settlement attorney prior to closing on that. Next slide, please. This is when you're ready to move in. So when you buy a home, you actually, when you complete that transaction, they're going to give you keys to that house, and it's your house, and you're ready to move in. This is when you know who are your real friends. These are the people that are going to help you move and pack up from one place into another one. I, fortunately or unfortunately, have driven pickup trucks all of my life, and it seems like a few weekends a year I'm helping friends or family move because I'm a pickup truck guy. But this is when you're ready to move in and to make that house a home for you. Again, there's 3 different ways that you can start the process. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to call. The phone numbers that are listed here on the back, on the thank you slide. You can speak directly to a mortgage loan professional who can assist you with those. You can also go to the credit union's website and look under mortgages and get to the online mortgage website. You can run through scenarios, closing costs, different programs, putting 5% down, 10%. You have a plethora of information that's available to you. If you want to know what the closing costs are in California, the system allows you to pull up closing costs in properties in California, North Carolina, Florida, wherever you happen to be looking on that. Or you could just stop by the credit union. I think that Charmaine may be able to expand on this. We used to have a loan officer on site that came into the branch and they would schedule appointments, but with COVID, I don't know if Damien is still able to come into the branch. If he is, they'll be able to direct you to Damien and get you scheduled. If not, we can do everything by phone or on the website. Charmaine, awesome. That's what I have. I'm going to turn it over to you and be glad to address any and all questions.
Thank you so much, Sean. You've given some really great insight into the process. And just to follow up with what you said about having a specialist on site, yes, Damien is our specialist that's in our Bowie branch, and he's there certain days of the week and so forth. But if you do give us a call, we can connect you directly with Damien, and he could walk you through the process in your individual situation. All right, so now we're going to turn to the question and answer session. We do have a couple of questions here, Sean. The first one is the process different for new construction? And if so, please explain the process.
Well, we do not do what's called construction loans. Now, construction loans are if, let's say, you own a piece of property or and you want to build a house on it and you want to get draws to do the foundation and then the next step. Credit unions do not do what's called construction loans. If you're looking to buy a new home that was just built in the neighborhood in a new area, we can definitely assist you with that piece. What you do is you come into the credit union, get pre-approved, and then when you go to the site with the new homes or townhomes or whatever you're looking to buy, and you start searching, and then if it's a property that you would like to buy, what the agent on site's going to try to do is try to send you through their bank and for financing and different things like that. And the bank's going to charge you a lot more money than the credit union. First 10 years of my 34-year career, I worked for major national world banks. And the job they have is to make as much money off of you as possible. Unlike a credit union, our credit union loan officers are not bumping up interest rates, adding junk fees, adding points that are not necessary. So you want to, you can certainly go to a new construction site when that property is ready for sale, and you want to buy that property. You simply negotiate with your agent, their agent, you come across and come up with a final settlement. That's when we do the final approval and get you into processing on that.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, the next question we have here is how long is the pre-approval process?
The pre-approval process, really, if you're prepared, should be no more than, again, you can apply online, and you can take that application all the way through yourself. You're going to input the applications online. It's going to automatically pull a tri-merge credit file, credit report. It's going to run your loan through Fannie Mae Desktop Underwriter, and you can do that within 10, 15 minutes online. So, you can get pre-qualified, and then, again, what we do is our loan officer is going to call you. You provide all of the documentation. Our loan officers are going to work that information up once they verify income, all of your information, and then they'll send it to you. So I would say the process should be no more, if you're talking directly to a loan officer, maybe 35, 40 minutes. It will depend on you having the documents ready and being able to email them over or provide them online, and we can get those worked out pretty quickly.
All right, we do have one more question here that we're going to take. Someone is asking, do we have the slides for reference? Actually, the recording is going to be available after this session. Also, there was another question relating to the pre-approval process. Every time that you get extended, does it affect your credit?
No, what we do is, again, when you get pre-approved, we're going to pull it that one time during the pre-approval process. So you provide all the documentation. I wouldn't shop. Don't go from lender to lender to lender because they're going to pull new credit, new inquiries on your credit report. All of that stuff kind of hurts your credit reports. Get pre-approved one time. It's good for 90 days. Once you have your ratified contract, let's say 60 days in, you're ready, You've got a ratified contract. We're going to go through processing. Now, the new laws do require us to pull a new credit report just prior to closing. And that's why I was saying you do not want to go out and incur another large debt, because we do see 1 or 2 loans a month, and we close 350 plus loans a month. We do see 1 or 2 a month that are close to closing, but then they don't close, and the sales contract falls out because they went out and bought a $1,000 car, which made them not qualify for the mortgage loan.
Okay. Okay.
In
All
the
right, one last.
No, I was just going to say, in the past, what they used to do is they would shop, and it'd be like a car dealership. They would, you would send in your information, and they would send it to 5 or 6 different banks who pulled your credit report to see who would approve it and who would give you the best deal. Well, it was good on their end, but it's not good on your end because all those inquiries blow up your credit score. They don't allow that anymore.
All right, Sean, we're getting some really good questions. Last question we're going to take for today is, I saw 100% financing, 0% down ARM on the website. Can you talk about this type of loan? I'm going to say that with that question, I think it's best answered if they were to speak with a loan officer directly to find out the details of that product and service.
Correct. There are different programs for different folks that qualify. We do have 3.5% down for first-time home buyers. We can take conventional loans with as little as 5% down, or 10% down, or 15 or 20. And again, we do have 100% financing for folks that are VA eligible or a spouse of a VA eligible. If you're a veteran or a spouse of a veteran that qualifies, you can do 100% financing. But as Charmaine just said, that would be a question based on your qualifications, and work with Damien directly. He is one of our finest mortgage loan officers, and very, very good and very, very experienced, to the point that I send my friends and family to Damien. So you all have a wonderful direct asset. We have wonderful loan officers, not to discredit any of them, but I've known Damien a long time. But any of our loan officers will be able to assist you directly if you're not able to get to Damien or just want to simply call the phone number on the screen. Apologies, we have the fire department running by.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sean. I think we're going to wrap it up today with a question and answer. I'd just like to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. And to learn more about Prince George's Community Federal Credit, in order to speak to a mortgage representative specialist, you could either contact us at the phone numbers that are listed on your screen, or visit us online at www.princegeorgescfcu.org. Again, we'd just like to thank Sean, our presenter, and CUMA for their support. And that will conclude our webinar. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.